Okay, so it's my birthday, and today I decided that I am going to vlog. I'm going to add it on my blog, my website, video blogging basically. But I think it's really important. A few things that I'm gonna talk about. I know the phone was ringing, but like I said, today's my birthday, and when I was in college, I've always been very spiritual. I'm Catholic, grew up Catholic, love the rituals. However, we don't really, I guess, concentrate a lot on the Bible, unless you go to Bible study groups. Grew up Catholic, went to private school all the way to 9th grade. Really just included Jesus in my life every day. It helped me a lot get through. Very spiritual person. But in college, I have my bachelor's degree in psychology, and in order to do my literature, I figured I want to learn the Bible. So my literature class was Bible studies. So that's when I really learned the Bible. There's a whole bunch of different kinds. I mean, it's all the same thing, but it's written differently. Guss loves the old style. This is his Bible. It's the King James version. The King James version is very poetic. I mean, it's "Thou breakest the ships of Tarshish with east wind." You know, it's kind of funny, but I'm going to go, because what I'm going to talk about today specifically is I'm going to do Psalms 35. I thought it was really interesting because I read the Bible yesterday with Gus's mom and my grandma, and Gus's mom picks out Psalms 35. And I want you to hear the King James Version. "Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. I am thy salvation." So that's how the King James Version is. It's very different. Guss loves that. Me, on the other hand, when we went to, I have the New International Version. It's easy to read. To me, it's very easy. This is the Bible that I got when I started college. And not started college, because I was already at UTSA at that point, I think. It was towards the ending of my degree. And as you can see, I pretty much have tabbed. So I know this Bible very well. I studied it. I read it, the whole thing completely. I've marked in here during different times of my life where, you know, I really just needed some kind of direction. Now, my version, Psalms 35, says, contend. Contend is to reason with or fight with. O Lord, those who contend with me. So it's very basic. And when I love poetry, but usually when I'm reading my Bible, I want the words simple. They don't need to be a song. They don't need to be poetic. Just very simple. I want to know what the message is saying, and then I will then you know, get a message from the Lord. This is the same thing that I just read you. Contend, O Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take up shield and buckler, arise, and come to my aid. Brandish spear and javelin against those who pursue me. So, it's kind of like, say to my soul, I am your salvation. It's kind of like, when I read, I told my grandma the other day, I said, what's really interesting about the Bible is that you can be so confused about something, and you read something, and the answers just come to you. They really do. But sometimes, you know, it's a beautiful thing, and sometimes, you know, it's hard to really like to take that message and accept it, because especially, you know, that whole turning the other cheek stuff, you know, sometimes, you know, you feel like I'm tired of turning the other cheek, you know. I want to get back. I want to get that revenge, you know. But don't ever put yourself down to anybody's level, you know, because that's the difference between you and them. When you do that, there's no difference. I wanted to share something that is very private, and it's hard. It's hard to think about. It's hard to talk about. This is the first time that I'm actually gonna talk about it. But I met Guss back in 2011, and he had 3 boys, and I'm going to try to do this eloquently without putting judgment into what I'm saying, which is hard as well. But I was told by a lot of people that I was dealing with a lot of trouble, and it doesn't have anything to do with the kids. But I didn't believe it. I thought, I'm going to love them, you know, and I met them, and they were cute. I could see Guss in there. I could even see myself, and it was a love with open arms. And I wanted the other parent, the mother, to know that they were going to be safe with me. They were all the things that I would want to know as a mother, that I would put their best interest, you know. Well, she answered me back. The very first conversation that we had was, you know, I don't need to deal with you. I'll deal with him. And, you know, I think it was like right away, like a defensive, protective, like, who do you think you are? You know? So I thought, you know, I was like, I would be blessed to have my kids with a woman. Like, my ex right now, any woman that he is with is I love her. I love her. If she's good to my kids, I love her even more, you know, because she's making him happy. And if she makes him happy, he's going to have a happy family, you know. So that's really important for the kids. And so I think that some people don't quite understand that. And so I kind of backed off a little bit, but I was angry, you know, too. I was told to take some pictures down right away that I had of the kids, and I did. You know, I would never keep, you know, pictures up or whatever, but I want the kids to know that I really do love you, and I came in your life with a very good, light, open heart. A little bit after that, there was a lot of trouble. We had a lot of trouble, and I was told that the mother of the children loves to create trouble. And I don't know. I never met her. I had never even come in contact with her, you know, on a level that we would share things. So I just kind of, okay, you know, just accepted what people said, but I still believed that, you know, like I always do, that people want the best, and you know, that kind of thing. Well, it was quickly, there's a few police reports. I'm serious. There was a lot of harassment, a lot of lies, and a lot of stories, and it makes me sad to even acknowledge some of the stories that I heard. But some people are very manipulative, and for instance, telling your kids that your dad's going to pick you up, and the dad doesn't know anything about that, just to make the dad look bad and make the kids feel like, why'd you leave me there? Why didn't you come and pick me up? You know, that's sad, because that's manipulative games, and that's your kid's heart you're playing with. It doesn't matter if you're trying to make them turn against their dad or try to make them see their dad as a bad person, but I will tell you, your dad is not a bad person. He's not. He loves completely. He accepted my kids as his own. He's been to every volunteer field trip. He encourages, he cares, he knows their demeanor, and he knows when something's wrong, and he talks, and he takes them away, and he wants them to be happy, and he teaches them what he knows. He's a good dad, and he would be a good dad to you too, okay? I know that you've been told that, you know, he left you, he abandoned you. He chose to go with this other family instead. That's not true, okay? We are not better than you. We are not better than you, okay? We are all the same. The only thing is that sometimes we have to get away from people so that we can have peace. That means you can have peace because you're not putting up with a whole bunch of drama. My kids can have peace because they're not putting up with a whole bunch of drama. Because y'all are innocent. Y'all don't deserve this. It doesn't mean that this choice was easy. It doesn't mean that, you know, that it has anything to do with you or me or my kids or anybody being better than anybody else. And when it's told to you that your dad left you for another family, you may feel that something's wrong with you. That's not the truth. I just wanted you to know that you don't have anything to do with this, and I don't have anything to do with it. The kids don't have anything to do with it. I hope and I pray that this isn't forever. You know, your dad has suffered with some. It's a mental illness. It's a mood disorder where extreme highs, extreme lows, happy, sad, okay? And I can understand why he has paranoia after being manipulative and lied to by somebody for years. There's some paranoia that set in. And one of you came to visit, and there was an uneasy feeling of, you know, who knows where we live now, you know, who's at the end of the street, who's at the corner. That doesn't have anything to do with you. That has to do with the stuff that your parents went through, okay? So you have to understand that when you come, you have to do it on a healthy, you know, it has to be a balanced mental state, or it's not going to go well. And it doesn't have anything to do with you. It doesn't have anything to do with him. It just has to do with everything that we've been through with this whole dilemma. So, you know, from the very beginning, during this whole time, he's always paid his child support. Always. Well, all of this was going on, and you know there's proof that your dad always paid child support, okay? He had a manic episode, bipolar manic episode, and it was no fault of his own. We had a very hard time. I'm serious, we ended up homeless. We lost our jobs. I lost my job because I was trying to take care of everything that was going on, and I just couldn't go to work during that time because it was really crazy. And he lost his job. He was out on leave, and when he went back, they let him go, because even though he was out on FMLA, they let him go the next day. But from that point on, it's been a struggle of trying to stay sheltered, trying to find doctors, and getting just mentally okay and mental health stuff. So there was no voluntarily, I'm gonna, not pay any more child support. Okay? From that day, there's been no work. He was homeless. So if you were with him, guess what? You would have been homeless too. So it's nothing that he's doing to you, okay? He was having problems with his depression, and it's, just about staying on medicine and stuff like that. And I guess the day I was going to take him to the hospital, he ended up going the day after, but we missed the court hearing, because when this happens, episode or any type of mental breakdown, you kind of forget the world around you, and you try to just hold on to what you have. So it's a hard struggle, mental health, because people don't believe it. If you have cancer, or if you have diabetes, or if you have something physical, you have people that can understand. Of course they can't work. Look what they're going through. Of course, but with mental health, it's very different, and you don't get sympathy from people. And so, Guss is arrested, of course, because contempt of court. He didn't make his hearing, even though he asked for the modification. I took him down to child support, and I said, you need to get this modified, because every day you're getting charged child support, like if you're making all this money, and we've been homeless for a year, Guss. They need to know that you don't have any money, So, luckily, I'm a caseworker, so I know how to handle things. I know all about all the social services. I'm trying to take care of that. But, he's in jail. He's in jail right now. He's gone, and he is in there for not paying child support and going to the court hearing that he asked for to get it modified. And because he was taking care of his mental health, and that's what happens a lot. So, I'm kind of feeling like this anger for this woman who's telling everybody that she doesn't need money at all, which it doesn't even matter, because maybe she doesn't need money, maybe she doesn't care, maybe she's just angry. And I saw some messages that she sent, and she is angry and she is upset because her own reasoning in her head of what's going on. But I wanted to, I guess, pray for her and her family, and for me and mine. And I was reading Psalms 35, and it says, "Contend, O Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me." Now, the Lord knows the truth, okay? There's no turning it, and there's no changing it and trying to look at it this way and trying to look at it that way. He knows what your heart feels. He knows the truth. He knows if you are secretly, that's what he gets. Leave his blank in there. Let's see if you're going to be happy now, girl. You know, that kind of mentality where, you know, it's my birthday today and he's not here. But you know what? It's okay, because I have a peace. I saw him. I just talked to him. He called me and he told me happy birthday, and he's doing well. And his depression is gone. I think that he needed time to himself to maybe speak to, you know, the jailhouse salvation, to speak with some people who weren't me, who weren't the same people. Because God puts people in your life when you meet them for a reason, and he takes them away for a reason too. Okay? So he looks well, and he has this fire in him that says, you know, I'm sorry for not taking my medicines. I'm sorry for taking life for granted. And he has this fire in him again. You know, the Guss that I hadn't seen in a while. You know, when life is hard and you lose your job, which then results to you losing your car. You know, Guss is very loving. He wanted to give the kids Christmas during this time, and he wanted to try to save our housing, and, you know, he got a loan out and lost his car, you know, for his family. That's the kind of person he is. When you do things for the right reason, and you're just trying to just hold on to your housing, and you're trying to eat, and just try to, like, be good to the people that are around you and stay positive, God knows that. He knows it. And he knows when you're secretly trying to sabotage, and when you're secretly angry and looking at somebody and just hating them and making up lies about them that aren't true and spreading gossip. He sees that too, okay? And that's not from God. You're not allowing him in your life. If you're allowing anger and hate and gossip and lies and that feeling, even if it's not real, if it's a feeling of, I hate her for loving him, for making him happy, because you know I haven't done anything to you. You know I haven't. I don't even say your name to put you on blast, you know. I admit I made one mistake in the past where I messaged your friends because of the retaliation from the picture that you put up on me on that website and acted like my kids. But there's a lot of drama that we've been through. And we can go back and forth, you know, and it's stupid and it's dumb and it's juvenile. And that's not from God. And I'm angry at myself for allowing God to go away and for me to allow evil when I did that. And I'm sorry to you too, because even though you could care less, as a person, I care. I care about how I hold myself. And I don't hold myself like that. When you secretly want somebody to be imprisoned, when you secretly want them to lose their house, and you don't want them to have good jobs, and you don't want them to be happy, and you want them to fight, that's not from God. Okay? That's from the dark Lord. That's from the devil. Okay? And if you want that, you know, that's your choice. But I'm asking God to protect me from that. And he will protect me from that. And he is greater. He is so great and powerful that the other one, he ain't nothing. Nothing. Take up shield and buckler. Arise and come to my aid. He's always lifting, and he saved me once, and he will save me again. May those who seek my life be disgraced and put to shame. May those who plot my ruin be turned back in dismay. May they be like chaff before the wind, with the angel of the Lord driving them away. May their path be dark and slippery, with the angel of the Lord pursuing them. Since they hid their net for me without cause, and without cause dug a pit for me, may ruin overtake them by surprise. May the net they hid entangle them, may they fall into the pit to their ruin. Then my soul will rejoice in the Lord and delight in his salvation. I think as human beings, we all crave and want that revenge. When I was young, I was very, very full of revenge. It was like, really, you hurt me? You watch, I'm going to hurt you even worse. And I know how to play it very well, but it's an ugly feeling. It really is, and it never ends. It just keeps going back and forth because the devil loves that. He loves that. So you have to let it go and say, I refuse you, I rebuke you, and accept the light. Accept the Lord. When you do, that's when you feel the strength. My whole being will exclaim, who is like you, O Lord? You rescue the poor from those too strong for them, and poor and needy from those who rob them. Ruthless witness come forward. They question me on things I know nothing about. They repay me evil for good, and they leave my soul forlorn. I think that it's kind of funny when you say how, when you think how, people will be like what is she doing, and why is she doing this, and blah blah blah. And it's like, if you don't have that kind of mindset, it's very hard for you to understand that kind of thinking. But I was telling my grandparents the other day, I was just talking to them and telling them about things that we had heard, and from some other people. And I remember telling my grandparents, I was like, how could anybody want bad on somebody else? I don't understand that. I said, even the person that makes my life the most miserable is that they can, only if I give them the power. But even that person, I wouldn't want bad for them. I said, I wouldn't want, I can't imagine wanting bad on somebody. And my grandma and my grandpa both told me, they said, Michelle, they said, not everybody thinks like that. Some people are evil, and some people love bad. Some people love for bad things to happen to people. They get, I guess, like a good feeling, a powerful feeling from it. And I was thinking, I was in the back seat, this was actually yesterday, and I was in the back seat, and my grandpa was driving, and while my grandma yelled at him because it was very scary. He's like over 80 years old, and woo, he was turning, and cars were coming at us, and I was like, oh Lord. My grandma's like, Joe, you see where I need to drive? And my grandpa's like, he was gonna stop. It was like, oh my God, I don't know what I would do without them. I love them, but they're funny. But I'm in the back seat, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, just laughing because I feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride of my life. But, we're having this conversation, and, I had a good day with them, but they teach me a lot. They teach me a lot, and they always have. They repayeth me evil for good, and leave my soul forlorn. Yet when they were ill, I put on sackcloth and humbled myself with fasting, when my prayers returned to me unanswered. I remember one thing that people have always told me was, your problem is you're too nice. You need to stab them back a few times, and I did that before and it doesn't work, So I think the thing that I know that works the best is not even allowing them their power. And the only way you can do that is by not giving them the power, not letting them change your mind, not letting them change your mood. Whatever happens, God's in control. They don't have the power. God has the power. And sometimes it looks pretty bad because Gus is not here on my birthday. He's locked up. I'm like, me and his mom were like, she goes, look at all these women out here visiting their men. Where are all the men? How come they're not visiting? And then and I was just like, she's very analytical like me, and I was just kind of laughing or whatever. And then she said, look at us. We're all cabronas visiting our bad boys. And I just I laughed, and I started thinking to myself, like, it doesn't feel good, when you're, going there to go visit, and, you're almost like, I don't even want to say you're like third world country, they treat you like that. But it's okay, because we are all the same, and we all go through hard times. And, I don't care who you are. You've suffered. You've suffered in some way, and you have. So you can understand suffering. But even during those times, it's not that your prayers are being unanswered. It's that there's a lesson being learned here. I feel great. Gus felt great. We both looked great. And our answer is going to come, and we're going to learn, and life's going to move on. I went about mourning as though for my friend or brother. I bowed my head in grief as though weeping for my mother. But when I stumbled, they gathered in glee. Attackers gathered against me when I was unaware. They slandered me without ceasing. Like the ungodly, they maliciously mocked. They gashed their teeth at me. O Lord, how long will you look on? Rescue my life from their ravages, my precious life from these lions. I will give you thanks in great assembly. Among throngs of people, I will praise you. Let not those gloat over me who are my enemies without cause. Let not those who hate me without reason maliciously wink the eye. Like that. There's people like that, two-faced. They act one way in front of you, but then they talk about you, behind your back. Or, I can't believe you're letting me in your house. They have arrogance about them. They do not speak peacefully, but devise false accusations. Everything they say is a lie. I can't see who it is. I don't have my glasses on because I don't know if they're here, but Gus broke them. And the little things right here hurt because they're both missing. So I have to, I need to get glasses soon. And my other glasses, their thing broke. But I'm wearing the uncomfortable ones, but man, they're uncomfortable. I don't know where they're at. Okay, so they devise false accusations against those who live quietly in the land. It is very easy to talk and spread gossip about those who don't do it back, and who don't stand up for themselves, and who don't, and I don't look at what's being said about me or what's being created. I've never tried to contact the kids and tried to tell them any, stories that are not true. This is actually, I'd say, in 8 or 9 years, the first time that I've come out and talked about it. And it's very personal, but I think it's very important because it not only touches on a message to the kids, but it also touches on mental health. And during this whole time, Gus applied for Social Security since the day he lost his job. And he's struggled with his mental illness for, I think, since it's been a few years now. And he's had to take off time from work and because of it. And then it gets better, and it's been very difficult, you know. But because of his age, Social Security was like, they denied, you know. So we went through the hearing, it got denied. We went through all the way to the councils, and it got denied. And the reason for getting denied is pathetic. First of all, because of the medication and the depression, Gus gained weight, right? He goes, and everything that he has said that was on record while he was sick, they brought that up in court. Like, for instance, he walks in the doctor and he says, I weigh 150 pounds, you know, and some stupid nurse writes it down. They go off that one record. And I said, my fight was the week before he was at the doctor. He weighed close to 300. The week after, he weighed, you know, but yet you're going off of this one file, you know, that you know, that he's not overweight, and that you know, that he said this, that he could do this and he can do that. When you're manic, you think you are God. You think you can do everything, you know. So it was very unfair, and our next step basically is to apply again, you know. And you know, we knew that the kids were going to get their child support when Social Security would go through, but there's nothing we could do about it. I mean, it's not like we could create money, you know. So I thought it was very important to put on blast Social Security and how it's run and how they just deny everybody, and you fight and you fight, and you're not fighting for, he has enough money. He's been working since he was 18 years old, and he's 45 right now, and he has always worked. He's always made good money. He's always been a hard worker, and you know that, girl. You know that the whole time y'all were together, he worked his butt off. Well, you know, during this time where he couldn't work, you know, Social Security should have said, you know what, this is your money. You've been putting in all these years. Yeah, you have enough money. You have enough credits. This is your money. But guess what? You ain't going to get it, because there are so many false claims in Social Security right now. And some stupid judge's opinion who can't even remember how much he weighed. Sorry, that's anger. Let go, let go. I apologize to the judge. I'm just frustrated. They gape at me and say, aha, aha, with our own eyes we have seen it. You know, when people are talking about you. O Lord, you have seen this. Be not silent. Do not be far from me, O Lord. Awake and rise to my defense. He will take care of you. But you have to believe, and you have to ask him, and you have to let him. That means that you can't just say, oh, God will take care of me. You have to ask him and talk to him, have a relationship with him, and say, God, please take care of me. And thank you for waking me up today. Thank you for giving me 44 years. Thank you for my birthday. Thank you for my wonderful kids. Count your blessings and be thankful. Vindicate me in your righteousness, O Lord my God. Do not let them gloat over me. Do not let them think, aha, just what we wanted. Or say, we have swallowed him up. We have won. Because you haven't. This is not the end of the race. Actually, I don't even think it's like a mini race. I don't even think it's a relay race. May all who gloat over my distress be put to shame and confusion. May all who exalt themselves over me be clothed with shame and disgrace. And basically, it's kind of like karma. You know, it kind of, let them have it, let them feel it, so they can understand it. It's not about revenge and wanting hate and I want to see them down on the floor, But let them feel what I feel. So maybe they can have some empathy, some sympathy, and understand and change their ways. May those who delight in my vindication shout for joy and gladness. All my friends out there who know me, they know my reputation, they know what I stand for, they know that I'm always for the good, and they know that I love and I accept and I understand and I don't judge. All those, I pray for your well-being. Those who shout for my gladness, may they always say, the Lord be exalted who delights in the well-being of his servant. My tongue will speak of your righteousness and of your praises all day long. I thought that was very, very good when she picked this. His mom picked this. We read it yesterday, and I didn't get that message yesterday. I was just hurt and sad, missing Guss, but happy that I saw him. But I was hurting because of some of the things that I have heard about from the past, and I was protective of him, and I know he's a good man, and sad for the kids that suffered during a lot of, even before I was around. And then I read this again, and I'm still reading it here today, and I'm sharing it with you. And like I said, it's very personal, and it's not what I'm proud of, but it's my life. I live it, and I pray that peace comes to all of us. I pray for peace. I pray for love, and I pray that all evil, bad, malintent disappear, go away from me, because the Lord's going to protect me, and he's going to protect my family. And happy birthday to me. I wanted to vlog today and share with you Psalms 35 in my life.